This is Michael Passmore. I'm the senior minister of Central Christian Church in downtown San Antonio. This is a message for July the 19th. I am going to be leaving town this morning. That's why I'm not all robed up right now. I have to go share in a funeral service of a dear, long friend. The 13th chapter of Matthew is filled with parables. Indeed, by the end of the chapter in Matthew's gospel, we are told that Jesus doesn't talk anymore to anybody except in parables. And this parable is different. These parables that we reflect on today talk about a man who sowed seed in his field, and then someone, an enemy, came and sowed bad seeds in his field. The parable of the wheat and the tares. His servant said, "Didn't you plant good seeds in your field?" And the man said, "Of course I did." He said, "Well, why are the weeds growing up in the field?" And the response was, somebody, an enemy, must have come and planted the weeds. And then the servant said, "Well, what shall we do?" And he said, let them grow together. And at the harvest time, we'll try to separate them out, the wheat and the tares. It's a parable about life. We can heal or we can hurt each other. Sometimes in our own living, when we look with honesty into our hearts and souls, we see those good and high things we think and we do. And we also see the weeds growing along, things that are not nourishing or helpful, thoughts that are selfish and greedy. Our lives are filled with wheat and tares, healing and harm. I was reading a little bit of an article recently that talked about the fact that so many of our plants are used in medicine. Indeed, over 25% of our medicine comes from plants, but the same plants that bring healing and strength also bring harm if you are not careful. Some of them are so clearly poisonous. Foxglove is a deadly poison if it is eaten directly, but it can also be used to treat swelling and congestive heart failure. Sweet clover sounds great, grows in your yard, may be used in making rat poison, but it is also used in warfarin, our blood thinner. Rosy Periwinkle, nothing sounds more harmless than that, is extremely toxic if consumed, yet it treats diseases like diabetes and leukemia. Autumn crocus is deadly but treats gout exceptionally well. Opium poppies makes morphine to ease pain at the end of life or even in suffering, but it's also used to make heroin and paralyzing darts. Wheat and tares. I did read recently also an obituary from an 80-year-old woman in Chattanooga, Tennessee. She included some things in her obituary which were delightful, gigging at her children. I don't want to go into all of it. I want to read this. She left behind a load of stuff her family doesn't know what to do with. And then there was a list of many miscellaneous items. And then this notice: anyone interested in having these items, please wait the appropriate amount of time to reach out. Tomorrow should be fine. All of us have accumulated wheat and tares. The sorting can be done by God, but the choosing now can be done by you. Choose your words. Plant seeds of kindness and joy. Be a bearer of hope in what seems like hopeless situations in our society. May we represent and represent Jesus Christ. Thank you for letting me share with you today.